Welcome to Valentina's audio stories. You are listening to the romance story, Meeting My Favorite Music Star. The man I was about to meet was a big name in music. He was a great singer and an excellent guitar player. His concerts attracted tens of thousands of fans. I was one of those fans, and I had won a meet and greet event ticket. I was beyond excited. I would get to meet him in a few minutes. The concert was over, and it had been amazing. I was truly a heartfelt fan of his music. The lyrics of his song spoke to me and his voice was special. Also, I had heard he was friendly and I couldn't wait to take a few pictures with him and have a chat. With my special pass, I was led backstage by what seemed like a big crowd of staff. There were some backstage workers of the facility, security, and the personnel from our local radio station who had arranged for the meet and greet. The meet and greet was held in a room that was furnished almost like a living room, with sofas and a table with refreshments. His latest album was playing as subtle background music. There was a special corner prepared for the photo shoot. I imagined this room was where the guests or stars themselves could relax. It was a meet and greet that would last 30 minutes. It didn't take long before he came in. Even if we were surrounded by staff members, time seemed to stop for an instant as we looked at each other as if no one else existed. I had always thought him a good-looking man, but in person, so close, his stunning eyes showed a deeper soul than I expected. His smile was a bit tense and shy at first as he extended his hand to shake mine. Since he was a celebrity, I hadn't expected to find a shy guy. I thought this made him even more charming. A part of me wondered, was he liking me? From what I knew, officially he was single. Maybe that was why he was suddenly so nervous. Maybe he liked something about me and I had caught him by surprise. "How did you like the concert?" he asked. Staring deep in his eyes, his stare back was incredibly warm and I could not fight its intimacy. "It was amazing. I'll remember it for the rest of my life," I said. He smiled. "I'm very glad when people are able to have a good time." There was a long silence between us and I swore I could have felt an undeniable attraction. We both stared at each other, completely surprised by this situation. The event photographer interrupted us a bit embarrassed, as if she too could sense the attraction. "Sorry to interrupt, I'm here to take the pictures." "Oh, right." He outright blushed. "I'd forgotten. Come, let's stand in front of the backdrop here." I followed him to the part of the wall with the dark backdrop. I knew with a professional photographer these photos would be a keepsake. However, inside of my heart, something told me though that this would not be the last time I would be photographed with him. It was a strange feeling, almost like fate was at work. We took a few pictures and it was fun. Once the photos were over, we still had some 20 minutes to ourselves and he offered me some orange juice to drink. On the speakers there was one of his songs playing singing about how life on the road took its toll. The song inspired me to ask him, "What's the hardest part of being on the road for you?" "Oh, that's easy. It's hard on the road to meet someone," he said. I found it sweet of him to be that open about it. "Really?" "Yes, you meet so many people every day. But the truth is you need a special someone to really get you. If anything, being surrounded by people so often makes you realize the importance of the right partner," he explained. I could understand him. It was easy to feel alone in a room full of people. "What's your favorite song?" he asked, and we both sat down. He sat on the armchair and I sat on the sofa. I told him the name of my absolute favorite song by him and he grinned. He said it was probably his best song. "And I'm glad you picked that one because I'm better at singing that one live than the others." He laughed, and he finished his orange juice with a few gulps. He asked his assistant to bring him a guitar. "I'll play you the song," he offered. I was very excited. "Thank you. You know, I played guitar for many years but..." "But what?" He looked concerned. I said, "I quit when I started college." He looked at me with a grin. "We're going to fix that, right now." I laughed. "How?" He called out to the same assistant. And bring my friend here a guitar, too. In an instant, I was holding a guitar again after 3 years of not having touched one. He asked me if I knew the chords. I said yes, I had listened to his songs too many times not to know them. He smiled. Let's give it a go. So, he played and I played. The first few lines of music I was too excited to realize what I was doing. After a few fun mistakes, we were both laughing and enjoying ourselves. The stress and anxiety left us both as we got caught up in the music. That's what music was about, I realized. Just having a good time and connecting. I was beyond enthusiastic about our meet and greet and was finding it far more fun than I would have ever imagined. He looked at me at the end of the second time we played the song. It had come out quite well together. There was absolute harmony in our playing and he noticed it. We should do this again, he said, catching me completely by surprise. I don't know where you live, but while I'm out on the road we could video call and play together online. I'd love to, I gushed, that'd be so fun. I think it's a good way to connect, he smiled. He told me he was eager to have something new in his life, and this seemed like something he was missing, someone to share music at a more private level. I was deeply moved that he wanted to share this with me, and realized, I too felt a deep need for this kind of connection. My meet and greet was over, but to my complete surprise, my relationship with him had just started. Several online music jams later. Our online video music jams together had become a staple of every second Sunday night. At first it felt surreal. Over time the surreal feeling wore off and we were just enjoying ourselves. We would talk a bit about what we had going on in our lives, and then we'd play for a good 30 to 40 minutes. I had turned from fan to friend, and had enjoyed the process immensely. Now, there was another feeling that was starting to emerge. I was absolutely smitten with him. His behavior made me think he was charmed by me, as well. However, I had no proof, so I thought it was best if he made the first move. His first move came at the end of our 10th video jam. At that point he told me he was wrapping up his tour and he'd be home for a couple of months. He lived in a different state than me, but he could come over for a weekend if I was interested, or I could go over to his place if I wanted to check it out. I was beyond excited. I decided to keep my emotions in check though. I didn't want to misinterpret the invitation, so I asked him if this was an invitation as a friend, or as something more, to be clear. That shy smile appeared on his face again, and he said to me he would have loved to make it our romantic weekend together, if I was interested. With a smile I could not contain, I grinned, yes. He laughed, and said that was what he had been hoping for since the first day he had met me. Fate had truly been at work with us. The end. We hope you enjoyed meeting my favorite music star. Remember to subscribe to our channel.